speaking of the scientific method, you teach history at MIT, which is thought of as the world's greatest technical college. And I imagine that many of the students in your classroom are initially, at least, like me rather than you, and that history wasn't their strongest subject in high school. So I'm just wondering generally what it's like teaching history to engineers and mathematicians and physicists and the like. And is there anything you have to do to engage them that would be different from teaching a cohort of history majors at a place like Chicago?
It's a good question and a fun one. So I have had the honor over the years of meeting three U.S. Supreme Court justices, and every single one of them said the exact same thing. Oh, I didn't know you could major in history at MIT. And I think most people don't know that. But from the very beginning, history has been on offer at MIT. You can major in it. And when you teach history to people whose primary passions are in science, technology, and engineering, you have some extra work to do and you have some benefits, right? The extra work is you have to kind of make a case for why it matters, right? And that's something that historians have to do all the time, right? The humanities don't justify themselves, right? We have to kind of explain the stakes of them, explain why knowledge about the past, knowledge about different cultures is crucial to living in the present and making a path to the future. The benefit that you get is that you get a room full of people with problem-solving mentalities, with curiosity, with kind of an eagerness to look under the hood, and whether that hood is a technical artifact or a social process often doesn't matter, right? And so they can be just as curious about sort of economic change as they could be about a new sort of internet technology.
Yeah, you mentioned that the Supreme Court justices didn't know that you could major in history at MIT. So I'm in the philosophy department here at Stanford, and a lot of people don't realize that MIT has one of the greatest philosophy departments in the country. It's a joint philosophy and linguistics department. That's where people like Noam Chomsky come out of. So it's far from just a physics and math school. But that does make me wonder, is there a robust population of history majors?
By the mere metric of history majors, right, it's pretty small. But a significant number of MIT students take history classes. They have humanities distribution requirements that send them to all of the fields in humanities, arts, and social sciences. So there's a lot, and then we often get students who only, as undergraduates, only find time for the humanities and social sciences in their last year, right? After they finished other requirements, and to get into MIT, you have to be a pretty well-rounded student. And so, they are in some ways rediscovering a love of other subjects once they kind of get their technical skills under their belts.
Mm-hmm. But I also imagine, though, that as historians, the ones that do end up majoring in history, because they have this great technical ability, they become a unique subset of historians that have a skill that some historians aren't as strong in.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And we will need more of that in the future as, for example, computational history, right, or sort of, historical data science start to kind of emerge as new approaches.